The juice. That's what I'm giving you today. My loves, my friends, Insta fam, I felt so ignited to come to you today and offer this conversation. I've had it planned for 2 days and I feel so friggin' thrilled to talk about this with you. So thank you as you're rolling in to the room. Just tell us in the chat box what you do in emojis. I want to feel you. I'm a visual person. So instead of words, give me the emojis of what it is that you offer the world. Not only just through your business, if you don't have a business yet, or maybe you're an artist, maybe it's just the essence of your being, your soul. What are you bringing to the room today? So pop that in the comment box below as you enter the room. If you're watching the replay, do the same in the comments below. Just give me your essence in emojis. And if you do this, you're one of the ones that is coming into the room in generosity, which is a perfect place to start here, because I imagine a lot of you want to be involved in this conversation to get. Yeah. You want to attract aligned clients that have cash. You want to bring them in. You want to get. You want to receive. There's nothing wrong with this. However, I want to open this conversation today. We're going to jam for about half an hour. If anybody has the eye on the clock and wants to tell me in the comment box, that would be amazing, because we never know how much I can chat your ear off. And I want this to really be the quintessence of how to use the art of seduction in sales and sex magic in selling. Yeah. That's what we're going to be vibing on today. So if you're coming into the room with this get energy, which of course, this is free content. A lot of us come to Instagram, come to social media to get. And sometimes this is really beautiful. You're in an open, available, receptive state, which means you're in your feminine. So that's absolutely wonderful. However, if you are in your unintegrated feminine, that get energy kind of turns into a taking, into a filling of a void. And so I want to clear that slate first. To attract aligned clients, you cannot be in a place of filling a void within you. That could be the breakthrough for someone already. Am I trying or forcing to attract in because something in me feels empty? Am I wanting clients and their cash and their attention and their validation to feed something in me that's not their responsibility to? So even just that simple act of sharing your essence and emojis as you come into the room, thank you for doing that. I'm feeling a lot of heat, a lot of magic, a lot of witches, a lot of nature goddesses in the room. As you do this, you're simply notifying your mind, I'm not just here to get, I'm also bringing something. What are you bringing to the conversation today? And that doesn't mean your words. That doesn't even necessarily mean your engagement in the comments. What energy are you bringing? Are you distracted? Are you opening other tabs on your computer? Are you playing music in the background? Are you walking? Are you driving? All these things are okay. Your multifaceted feminine can hold them all. However, I just want to bring that to your attention of where am I splitting off and fragmenting myself instead of offering the fullness of my attention, of my presence. Because for any of us that have studied law of attraction, the law of desire, that know how this kind of works energetically, you know that what you focus on expands. Where your focus is flows, right? Your magnetism is found in the penetrative energy of presence. So as you come here today to receive this transmission on attracting aligned clients, I really want to bring you into a place of presence deeply in your body, to feel how it feels first to receive me, because that will be a direct reflection of how people receive you. We're doing all the cliches today. Everything's a mirror, right? I can tell if we were on a Zoom call right now, by the way that you're sitting, by the way that your eyes are darting around the room, where your awareness and attention is, what you're thinking through the expression on your face, how in this you really are. And so I ask that if you are desiring to attract aligned clients, you decide now to be fully in this conversation as an experiment, to pull all of your energy into this here and now moment to flood toward this desire. If you are not available for that, GTFO. Just kidding, you're all welcome, but you won't receive the same level of receivership and fullness from this. So really gauge where you're at. Is there a way right now I can be more of a giver? Because if there's one quality around wealth that I have seen and learned, it is that generosity comes before receiving more wealth. So if you're showing up to Instagram in your business and you're just like putting stuff out because you're like, I need to add to the noise so somebody can hear me, so somebody can find me, so somebody can pay me, then that's the same as giving your split attention, right? Whereas when you come to a space like this, everything you do is a reflection of something that you receive in your business, the way that you move your body, the depth of your breath, the way that you interact in social media is how people are responding to you too. So step courageously into this space in full transmission, receivership, and generosity through what you're bringing. Yeah. Boom. So we had 3 things I want to cover today through all of the questions that I received in the chat box over the last few days as I've put this on stories to have this conversation. And I've summarized them into these 3 because there is a few specifics where we offshoot and we go on a tangent. And of course, if you're here live, please ask in the comment box something in relation to what I'm speaking on, or to clarify it, or to, run it dry a little more. But essentially, we're going to be talking about your aligned clients, your ideal customers. Who are they? Where are they? And how do they hear me? Right? Because the selling and the sales aspect is going to be woven through how you find the answer to these questions. And all of you, I am guessing, have had an experience where money has found you, whether it's through your business or through something else miraculous, a bonus, an inheritance, a winning. But I don't want to talk about that today. I want to talk about who you are as the magnet for your soulmate clients. Because that's the first piece, right? If you're not that, they're not going to come. They're not going to find you. So let's talk about this. Firstly, I would love, if you're here, or if you're watching the replay, to tell me who your ideal clients are. Who are they? Who do you support? Who do you help? Who do you serve? Who do you give? Who do you inspire? Who do you transform? Doesn't matter what industry you're in. You do not have to be in the coaching industry. Just tell me a little bit about this person. And it's likely that you either know right away or you don't. There's probably not an in-between. And so one of the messages I got from someone was around their ideal client type, and they said, I don't think they exist. And my immediate response was, how can we move down the layers of creating content that sells, selling in the DMs, being engaging, offering value, if you have a core belief that your ideal clients don't even exist? And so this whole live training today is going to be about inviting you into rewriting those stories that do not serve you. So if you are so specific that your mind is saying these people don't exist, go more general. And if you are so general that you don't feel a heart connection to these people, get more specific. Yeah, so pay attention to where you are and either zoom in or zoom out to just free up some of that energy in your field to activate and start to turn on your magnetism. I have an avatar. This is like classic marketing, right? Create an ideal avatar for your business, which is essentially cultivating a persona of somebody that would be your ideal client. Their name, their age, their style, what they do, who they're friends with, what they're consuming, what their pain points are. And this can be a really, really helpful place to start. However, I don't want you to stop here because this is outdated paradigm of marketing. And I want to go magical paradigm of marketing, right? Because even though I've got this avatar, and even though some of my clients are her, some of my most favorite clients are so outside the box of that niche that if I was so committed to only saying yes and only focusing on that ideal client, I would not have even seen them. I would not have even welcomed the opportunity, and I wouldn't have got to have that exciting, exhilarating experience of transformation with them. Right? That could mean like someone completely out of the age bracket you think you're here to support. It might be the opposite gender. It might be, somebody in a country where you've never even heard of. I really want you to invite you into thinking globally. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, I love this. We've got some ideal client energies. This is perfect. And so then once we know who we're talking to, and if we get brave enough to zoom in, enough to meet that resistance of all the stories that tell you this person doesn't exist, that's where you can use your sex magic practice to shake it off, to rewrite stories, because our subconscious can only be entered and penetrated into if we are, again, in this receptive mode, in a different brainwave state, which is why through all the work I do with my clients, I'm a self-pleasure practitioner, everything comes down to embodiment, not necessarily just the mindset. Yeah. You can do all the mindset in the world, but if the body isn't also on board, you will forever be at war with yourself. So if you're identifying, even just participating in this conversation today, I want you to note down those stories. What are the beliefs I carry? They might not be conscious, they might not be current me, they might not even be mine, but somehow they're there. Nobody wants to buy from me. There's so many other people on Instagram doing what I do, and they do it better. My ideal client doesn't exist. They're a unicorn, right? Identify some of these stories that are directly blocking the hand that you have out to be paid. And start to work with them, not only energetically and through your body, but also through the stories you tell, right? Catch yourself. Be such a ninja at recognizing how often you cock block your cash flow. Because it's you. It's not the algorithm. It's not the industry. It's not your competition. It's not your audience's fault. It's you. And this is what entrepreneurship, especially soulful, spirit-led entrepreneurship, is all about as we pave the new paradigm, this new earth experience, is taking such radical responsibility for what you are bringing, what you are receiving, the field around you. All of it matters. Which brings me to number 2. Once you know who they are, you want to know where they are, right? Because you might be so clear on that ideal client, but you haven't sold a thing, or it's been a long time since you've made a sale, or you feel like you keep selling yourself short and undercharging just so that you can meet this ideal client. Let me tell you something. If they are your ideal client, they are at a loss. Whoa, that filter's crazy when the sun's on my eyes. I just went alien mode. Those ideal clients are at a loss if you betray your new belief. So for example, if you raise your prices because you have been successful working with a few ideal clients, but actually they've been total pains in the asses, and you want to refine who you support, you want them to be more responsive, you want them to be more responsible, more of a conscious creator rather than a victim. These are examples from my own business. Then it's your responsibility to not settle if the opportunity arises and you squish down yourself to make the sale. What do you think that does to your magnetism? What do you think that says to the universe, to spirit, to the ethers, to the frequency field, to the quantum? If every time you and you get a test when you raise your standards and you start to really implement these new beliefs, that you shrink back out of the fear, the contraction, the worry that maybe, the ideal client doesn't exist. Maybe they can't find me. Maybe they're not even here. Maybe they're not willing to pay, blah, 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 blah. Meet the story. That's hectic. I'm going to move myself across. Meet the story. And again, through this phase, bring it into your body. This is something you can do through sex magic. There's a whole process involving this guy that I share in Next Level New Year, my 2-hour workshop, my business live training on how to plan your most prosperous, pleasurable, productive year yet. It's in the link in my bio, I think. If it's not, DM me if you want in. It is an incredible way to just map out this year with clarity, especially around money. So if you're already receiving from this, that will be an excellent place to go next, because we talk about money goals, creating them for the year, and really breaking down your pricing structure on how to attract money. So when you have the fear or the block and the resistance to where are they, say you're posting on Instagram and you're getting crickets, and you're showing up and you're showing up and you're showing up and you're offering the value and there's no response. This is not the universe testing you. This is you testing you. I want you to write that down. This is for someone else in the room. The universe is never testing you. You are testing you. We love to dish out anything that feels like a challenge to something outside of us doing it to us. And even if you have a most beautiful relationship with the universe or spirit or the world or God, even if that is a really, really nourishing relationship, as soon as you outsource your challenge to that entity, a percentage of you goes into victim instead of creator. And if we're talking about attracting aligned clients and really using your magnetism and your sex and your creation energy to seduce and to sell, there is no room to not take full responsibility. So where are they? Everywhere. Your ideal clients aren't just scrolling Instagram accounts like yours. They can be found at dance classes or cafes or community events. They can be found at live gigs and walks on the beach, right? Again, for this one too, I want you to broaden your perspective. Instead of just watching what other people are doing and how it's happening for them, and make room for the miraculous. Make room for the miraculous ways that people can meet you because you are magnetic. I have loved playing with this in my business. In my first business, my website design business, I was sold out. I was fully booked for almost 2 years without a shred of marketing, without any content creation around website design. I barely mentioned it on my Instagram account because I was focusing on this other limb that I wanted to move into through coaching. And yet, the people were there. Why? As I look back and reflect on this, it's because I was in such belief that one, I knew who they were. Not too zoomed in, not too zoomed out. I knew who they were. I knew who I served, so I could identify and get really clear that if I was in conversation with someone, there was an opening. 2, I knew where they were. They were existing in my life already with people I was having conversations with. They knew what they wanted. They were ready to invest. They already valued the things I valued, so they weren't like a hard sell, right? Thus, that money, that cash flow, that selling was effortless because those 2 points were so integrated in my body. So if you are not there right now and you're needing that little bit of a kick, a little bit of a support, my invitation to you is get in places and spaces where these ideal clients might be. Because if you go in with the intention of like, I'm going in here to meet someone, to make a sale, yuck. That's why networking events have always felt really gross to me. Or like NLP events. It's like, oh, you're totally like mind fucking me into marketing your product right now, right? Which again is beautiful, no shade, but my body wasn't turned on and activated in those environments. It was shielded and protected. So make room for the miraculous ways you can market yourself simply by walking through the world as your message, as your mission embodied. This is my answer to the where are they? If you're posting on Instagram and there's crickets. If you haven't made a sale in a while. The test is coming from you to be even more in alignment with your message and your mission. I really want you to hear that. The invitation is not to blame the universe or to blame your audience or to have a pity party that what you're doing isn't working. Maybe what you're doing isn't working, obviously. However, there's the invitation to keep showing up, to keep deeply listening, to go inward before you look outward. And becoming the message, becoming the mission through your beingness. So that every room you walk into, you are that. Not just when you show up on Instagram. If I just show up on Instagram stories and I'm like, hey, oh my God, like I'm a priestess, like let's talk about feminine embodiment. Yet as soon as I close down this live and I enter my life and I am in total like chaos without responsibility and I don't know how to feel my emotions and I'm blaming my partner and creating conflict over here and lighting fires over there, and I'm living from the neck up 24/7, you will feel that. You will feel that because you're a super intelligent human being with extrasensory embodiment feelings, right? Your clients, your ideal clients are fucking smart. They're geniuses. They're brilliant. They don't need you to save them. They need you to be the reference point for the vision of the new earth you hold. To give them the courage and the confidence to step into what theirs is. I recently met one of my Fempire initiates in real life by accident. I didn't know it was her because I just started bleeding with that hour. And I was sitting there like at a cafe in the sun, and I was sweating, and my womb was pulsating, and I was moaning and groaning, and my friend was giving me a massage, and my beautiful Fempire initiate come up. She was sitting next to me the whole time. And she tapped me and she's like, Emily, I'm about to go, but I just wanted to introduce myself. And it felt so liberating for me to be sweaty, to be groaning, to be in pain, and to be like, hi, this is the truth of me. Because she already expected that through me coaching with her. She would expect nothing less. She wouldn't have this jolt of, that's not what she's like on the internet. Because I am the walking canvas of my mission, of my message, to walk the way of the womb, to be in the feminine, to be in your body, and all those things I was doing when we met. And so that creates even more trust. What I want you to focus on, if you're in the where are they and who are they phase of attracting your clients, I want you to think about creating long-lasting relationships rather than a quick dopamine hit of cash. To circle back right to the start, if that's what you're showing up for, to receive, to get, you're in that voidy place of, I need to be filled, fill me, clients. You do it for me. With your money, with your likes, with your engagement. Do it for me, fill me. You're essentially asking your clients to fuck you, right? To fuck you into fullness. That's not their job. Their job is to firstly be completely like swept away by you. You're the romancer. You're the seducer. You're the offering of the value. So if you're coming to them empty, the dynamics are going to feel real weird. It's going to be built on codependence. It's going to be, again, old coaching industry, therapy, mess. No, thank you. The final piece of this is, how do they hear me? So how do they actually feel you so deeply that they take the action, that they shift into their penetrative action-taking mode to make the choice, to take the leap, to get into the doing part of making a sale? Think about this, right? If you are showing up every day and you're offering content, there's an element of you in your masculine energy, in the energetics where you are forthcoming. There is a moment though, and you will feel this, and when you get into the slipstream of this, it'll just feel so good, because you're like, wow, it's this easy. It's this easy to sign new clients that are so ideal. It's this easy. Like, what have I been doing this whole time? You show up in a place of openness, of non-attachment, of overflow, of feminine radiance. And when somebody who is in the right place at the right time to receive you, it's this instant relationship that you're in. And you've prompted them through your radiance, through your invitation and your seduction and your sensuality, not through your force, not through your buy now, pay for this, do this, not through that energy, because then you're like moving them into their emotions, and they're like, I don't know, should I? Do I have the money? Blah. Like you like penetrate them so hard into their fears, rather than their bad bitch, brilliant self who knows that they are self-responsible and they can do the thing. Are we feeling this? Like a different energy shift of how to interact with people on social media or in real life, right? If you identify as having a fempire, or your desire is to have a fempire, that is a feminine body-based business, it requires you to not be a man from the outdated marketing and sales world, which is what so many of us are still doing. And this is the disconnect. This is why even when we create the cash, It's not as satisfying as we thought. It's not as long-lasting satisfaction. It's not the fullness we truly desire, because it's not about the money. It's about the transformation that you sell. It's about the embodiment of who you are in the world. When this becomes your primary focus, instead of how do I get a client to fill my cup, the money is a byproduct from who you are already. And I know you can sense this already, whether it's in yourself, maybe it's a friend, or it's in a group program, or someone that you meet, where there is like an unmet lack or scarcity. There's kind of this quality of almost like desperation on them. Even if they're saying all the right things, they look the right way, there's something where you're like, they need me too much, or they want me too much. Think about this in, great, landing, awesome. Think about this in relationship, right? Like if you have a partner, or there's someone that you catch eyes with across the room, and you're like, damn, they're sexy. There will either be a feminine, radiant part of you that just like stays open and is yourself and shines and is like, yeah, I know that I don't need him, right? Or them. I know that I'm fine by myself, and I desire this interaction. I desire to be desired. Like, how fun. This is yummy attraction energy to play in. That's when your magnetism turns on. Whereas if you go into, there's other people here looking at them too, I have to compete because there's 10 of us and one of them, and I want to be the one to take them home. It's competitive out here. The marketplace is so full. I got to really like weasel my way through the crowd and like engage with them and be really intense and be like, come on, come home with me. Right? And so there is this similar energy that you bring to your selling and your marketing and your offering and your creating content. You are the lover. You are the lover of humanity, rather than the mind, your old stories, your fear. That will all come up. That's totally normal. And if it wasn't, I'd be worried. But to be heard amongst the noise of social media, don't create content from that place of, I need to be heard. I need to be heard. I need them. Get into your body first. Open. Turn on that turn on. Make a daily devotion to opening your channel and clearing out the noise of everything else that you've consumed, so you're not just regurgitating something that's not fully integrated. When you open your channel and you spend more time being a creator than a consumer, you'll find that what comes through is your flavor anyway. That's what's going to be the most attractive thing to your ideal clients. Your flavor, your channel, your way, your embodiment, your openness, your radiance. That is what lands with people, where they don't have to know your origin story. They don't have to have been a long-time follower. They can trust you in the moment because they're like, there is something that she got that I want. You've probably all had this experience, whether it's a piece of jewelry or a coach or a program or a book that's fallen off the shelf because you're like, this cover is pretty ugly. I've never heard of this writer, but this story needs to be read by me. That's the kind of feeling we're going for here, right? So we're almost coming to the end of this transmission. I can feel it. It's like running out. So if there's any questions, please pop them in the comment box below. If there's any part of that you want some clarification on. And if you do want more information about the sex magic practice, DM me. I have three one-on-one spaces open for this new year, for January. I'm enrolling right now in Pleasurable Alchemy, which is my 3-month private mentorship. It's all about business, it's all about money, it's all about body, sex, relating, pleasure. It's the goods. So if you want to be met that deeply, just slide into my DMs right after this live training to learn more. I've got a whole page so you can feel into the vibes. All the inclusions are written out. There's 2 tiers of whether you want to be like super held or a little more free. Yeah, this wand is legit. I also have a discount code for this wand, which is called the Align Me from Asti Marie. So you can message me if you want that as well. But otherwise, you can DM me for the link for Next Level New Year if you want a little more and you want to put all of this like aligned client stuff into a place where you know where it's going. So in Next Level New Year, we talk about the price of your ideal life. The 3 different tiers of money goals you should be creating to open all the resistance you have around money. And it's just freaking amazing. It's just such a fun journey. So you can DM me for that. It's $111. Okay, clarification on embodying wholeness so that we can shake those neediness vibes. Okay, this was... Oh, thanks, Sammy. My face got so sunburnt yesterday on the sub. I've never been sunburnt in my life until now. Is that just because I turned 28 and now all of a sudden I get sunburnt? So I've got no makeup on and I have got like 3 layers of oils on my face. So thank you, Sammy, for my hotness. So the question that come through was, how do we embody our wholeness so that we can shake the neediness? This is perfect to clarify, because it's not that you can't go into an interaction, whether that be a sales call or a marketing pitch, and not feel neediness. You can. And you're identifying it as a part of you that actually wants desire. Neediness in its more like purer form is simply desire, right? That's what it's showing you. If you have a need for something, if you're like, I need water, it's showing you that you're thirsty and that you want to consume to be wet. Yeah? There's nothing wrong with being needy. However, it's the energetics, right? Of if you're in neediness, people can tell. People can feel it and it actually repels them. So what I do, and this is a perfect lesson from my #1 sales fail. So listen up, Vixen of Love. I rejected my neediness so much because I didn't want them to feel that repulsion that I switched into the avoidant attachment style. So I didn't need them at all. And so when I was in a place of showing up on Instagram, on, conversations with people, I so didn't want to be that person that's like, sign up with me, love me, pay me, that I went the whole other end of the spectrum, which was like, I don't need you. I'm a boss bitch by myself, so, Make the sale, doesn't matter to me. There's a sweet spot in between, which isn't neediness to the point of repulsion, and it's also not like, I don't need it all, I'm completely enlightened and I am not a human and I don't want for anything. The sweet spot is desire, is feeling neediness in your body and actually tuning into what it's showing you that it wants. So if you can regulate your nervous system, if you can be in your body, you'll find, even just after a few breaths, you can do this in conversation with someone if you're in a selling conversation. If you find yourself in the grip of neediness, where there's maybe contraction around the heart, maybe more thoughts, maybe a little anxiousness, you can simply breathe into that and ask, what's deeper than this? in this moment, I can feel that shift down to like my pussy, and there is pulsating, there's a turn on, there's an arousal for what we can do together. There's this like, I'm so on mission right now, like this person is aligned. Of course I want them. Like, yes, I want them. I don't need them. There's a difference. But I want to play with them. A lot of the time that neediness energy comes from our inner child. Comes from a place and a part in us that is really, really old. And so she isn't to be pushed out the door when you're in your office. She's to be brought along and hold her hand and be like, yeah, of course you want to play with this person. Of course you want to co-create a beautiful experience, right? This is what changed everything for me in making sales and showing up in a launch. My biggest launch ever was going in with this energy of, I don't need you, but I want you. Because everybody wants to feel wanted, right? I hope that helped. Semba, thank you so much for all of your beautiful comments. Yes, desire is a supercharge. Yeah. Awesome. Are we feeling complete, my friends? I would love for you to tell me your one juicy insight before we close. Pop it in the comments so that you receive something. This wasn't just time. This was your attention. This was your precious energy. I want to know what it is that you received so that you can anchor that shit in right now into your body and let it move through you for the rest of your day, for the rest of your week, through every time you go to post, to take a story, whatever it is when it comes to marketing, selling, sales. So tell me in the comment box below. I'm going to wait. Vixen of love, I don't need you, I want you. Yeah. And imagine how sexy that is if a partner says that to you, right? Pamela says, get into my body. I feel your power and passion and it made me excited. That right there is a nugget of gold. I felt your power and passion and it made me excited, right? So I'm in this transmission. You are receptive to my energy and you want to play. You want more, which means you stay on my page or you follow me or you message me, right? Thank you, Holly, for saying that. Because when you watch the replay, there is a piece on how to prompt people into action. And that was such a beautiful real-time example. Become the magnet yourself, represent your vision as much as you can. Oh, amazing. Thank you, my loves. This was so fun. Don't need the story, just the magnetic way of being. Yes. The magnetic way of being trumps the story. The codes, ready for this one? You want to write this down. I've got this coming as a quote on my grid sometime soon, but it's in my notes. Your coding trumps your conditioning. I'm going to leave you with that one. Your coding trumps your conditioning, which is to say your frequency, your vibration, your feeling, your commitment, your devotion always trumps your stories. Yeah. Okay, my loves. If you resonated with this, please tag a friend who might be starting their business, struggling in their business, feeling a bit of scarcity or fear around selling. But like, keep this going. Get them in the energy of their magnetism, because we all have such beautiful gifts to offer the world, and 2022 is not the time to fuck around. If you really, really believe that, I've got the 2-hour Next Level New Year workshop ready to go for you. So DM me if you want to get your eyeballs around that for further clarity on pricing your life, your money goals, and selling. And if you want to go deeper, those 3 one-on-one spaces are open now. I've already got some DMs to look through today, but just slide into my DMs with a, hi, I want to learn more, if you're feeling the pull to have some deeper support with me in my field. I love you so much. Make room for the miracles today and honor your humanity. And I will see you again soon.